So the first part of the lamp project is you need to create yourself a new project. So to do that, you need to open up the data panel. Once you've got that open, click on New Project, and then you're going to title that with Year 9 Lamp Project. Once that saves and syncs, then double click inside of it, and now you're ready to start saving different files within that. So the first thing we're going to do is on our design area over here is we're actually going to save this. So it's currently titled Untitled. If I click Save, just double check that it's saving it into the Year 9 lamp project that you've just made, and you're going to call this lamp assembly. Click Save. Okay, so now we're ready to start designing parts. So this is your basically your guide of all your different parts. So we've started with the assembly, and we're going to add individual components inside of that, and then we're going to assemble it all at the end. So the first thing we're going to design is the brass rod, which here's my orthographic drawing. So you can see here it's 48 millimeters in length, and it is it's actually 5 millimeter diameter. We're going to make it 5 millimeter. In real life, it'll be 4.9, so that it can actually slide into it. But for the CAD program, we're going to call it 5 millimeters. So we're going to start by clicking a new sketch. Actually, before that, we need to create a new component. So, new component. We're going to call this brass rod, and our parent is already selected, so it's already activated the lamp assembly as our parent folder, and each of these components is going to be a child to that folder. Click OK, and now we're ready to start designing. So we need to start first of all with creating a sketch, and we need to choose which work plane we want to work on. So I want to work on the XY, which is this one, so I'm going to select that. And now if I go to Sketch, Create Circle, and I'm going to do a center diameter circle. If I now click just the center point, you can click anywhere. I usually always go with the origin. Make it a bit bigger, and you can see it'll already be putting dimensions on it. You can now type in the dimension, so we want 5 millimeters. So 5, click Enter, and you'll see if I zoom in, you can see it, it's quite small. I'm going to close this, that'll make my window a bit bigger. Then you are done with your sketch, so we're going to click Stop Sketch. And now we're ready to modify this. So at the minute it's a 2D disc, we want to extrude it so that it's 3D. So if I go Modify, press Pull, select my sketch, and that needed to be 48 millimeters. So type in 48, zoom out a little bit, and you can see I've put the direction one side. You could do two sides, okay, but that doesn't make sense for us, so we're going to go one side. Distance 48 millimeters, okay. So we've made it, it's the correct dimensions, 5 millimeters by 48. We now need to put a thread onto this. So a thread is basically the bit that a nut would screw onto. It's the sort of helix pattern. So to do that, we're going to go to Create, Thread. So you can see an example here. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click near the top side. Okay, so I've selected this face. At the minute, it's threaded the whole bar. I don't want the whole bar threaded. I just want the top 5 millimeters and the bottom 5 millimeters. So we're going to stop, or we're going to take off full length. Okay, and now you can see that it's only put in a certain amount. So the certain amount it's put is the length as 10 millimeters. I want that just to be 5 millimeters. Okay, I've chosen isometric profile, and that is an M5. So that basically means metric 5 millimeter thread. So it'll fit a metric 5 millimeter nut. Okay, so I've got a threaded rod on the top here. I also want to do the same on the bottom. So again, I'm going to go Create, Thread. I'm going to click the bottom, side, and again unclick full length. I'm going to put length 5mm, M5, hit OK, and now I've got my 2 threads. The next thing I want to do is I want to make the material into brass. At the minute it's just a default material. If I right click on my component and I click physical material, I've now got lots of material categories I can choose from. So I'm going to choose metal, and we're going to do it out of brass. So if I scroll down, I can get brass, and I just drag and drop that onto the component, and you'll see it changes colour. Close that. That now means that all the material properties of this are what brass is, and that's us done for the first part. So we're going to click save. The version description is just how many versions you save in case you do small edits. We're just going to leave that as it is. Hit OK. And that is our first component made inside of the assembly folder.